Good morning. I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. I want to thank you for tuning in today and listening to my presentation, which I have entitled Choose Wisely. Now, recently I read about a presentation by Damien McLoughlin from the University of Dublin, and he described our industry as going through what he called an inflection point. He described an inflection point such as, and if you think about it, some of these will be fairly obvious, the changes that have been pushed upon us by the COVID-19 situation, particularly in terms of decreased travel, a lot more online Zoom type of presentations and meetings. These things tend to alter, as he explained, they tend to alter the way that we think and act. Now, I think this is important because it's essential that we think about what else has changed. What else has been altered in our industry? We've certainly had an increase in volatility in prices. If you look back about 2 months, or perhaps even less than that, we saw cheese priced at $1 per pound at the CME. And today it's, I believe, like $2.70. So that's certainly a great example of volatility for the better as far as the comeback to the higher prices for producers. But what else changed? Think about some things we're seeing around us, like robotic milkers, robotic feed pushers. These are all things that are going to change and have already been changing to some extent in our industry. Now, after this inflection point, as Mr. McLoughlin describes it, he says all bets are off. The industry just changes, and now I quote him, where he said, forces that drive this change are rarely a surprise to us. Even the examples I gave. But he goes on to say what appeared to be gradual suddenly just happens. End of quote. But I think he also adds that these represent opportunities if, and I would say if and only if, you are prepared. And again, I quote him when he said, we are in a time of enormous challenge, but challenges always present opportunities. End of quote. I want to read that to you again. His quote says, we are in a time of enormous challenges, but challenge always presents opportunities. End of quote. So with these challenges, I'd like you to think about what opportunities exist for you today. Here are some potential examples that you can think about, and I want you to give them some thought. Not for my benefit, but for your own. Number one, potential expansion of your operation. And I know people are going, oh my goodness, I don't know if I want to expand, the industry's shrinking, I may not. You know what? The wave of the future will be probably to larger operations. But an alternative approach to that, and I've had some clients do this, they haven't necessarily gotten bigger, but they have dramatically increased their efficiencies, and I think that is essential to survival, regardless of the size of your operation. How about some opportunities for price protection, particularly with things like the Dairy Margin Coverage Program, the Dairy Revenue Protection Program? If you have not taken a look at those, I strongly advocate that you get on top of it because it is certainly one of the waves of the future. And that has been around for several years now, both of those programs have. But I think the essential thing is they become more critical, more crucial to have in your hip pocket than ever before. So if you're not sure how to get a hold of those programs, check into it, talk to some other producers, and get on board with it because it could be your very survival tool for the future. I think you need to think about what strengths you have going for you. And on the flip side, what other needs do you have? What are you lacking to get from here to here where your ultimate goal is? What do you need to add to your arsenal? What are the advantages you have working for you? And are there people to whom you need to be talking? People that know the way to go or have guided others through this process? If so, be sure to turn over every stone. I'd like you to consider all the possible options that are available to you. And every one of you as a listener has options available to you. And every one of you has options that are a little different than everyone else. But that's the fun of this. You have things that I don't have, and other producers don't have, and they have some things going for them that you don't necessarily. But that's okay. That's part of the economic landscape, and that's just the way it is. But consider all the possible options, even ones that are, I call them, different. Maybe no more cows in your herd, but maybe 10 more pounds of milk per cow per day. Think about it. That could be a big thing. I want to thank you for listening. Again, I'm John Ellsworth with Success Strategies. I'm the founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. And I want to leave you with one question. Have you actually developed your detailed strategy for success in the future? I would leave you with this. Choose wisely. Thank you very much.